We are two health enthusiasts. We are real black women. We are about to have some real conversations about the good, the bad, and the ugly about our health. We are too fine to die. Too fine to die. Too fine to die.
Welcome to Too Fine to Die. I am Coach K, and I am here with my amazing, beautiful co-host, Dr. K. We are two health enthusiasts, but we are also two real women having the real conversation about the good, bad, and the ugly as it relates to our health, especially in the black community. And today, y'all, we got to have a talk. We are talking about the difference between, you want to say it, Doc? You go ahead and tell them what it is.
You sure? I can do
go
it.
for it.
Okay.
It's a difference.
What is the difference between self-love and body positivity?
I think you need to take a sip on that because we need to talk. So let's talk about why we're having this conversation. So I feel like there's a lot of heat. There's been a lot of heat, a lot of discussion, mainly when we talk about body positivity. Who's in the middle of the conversation? Lizzo. Is it too much? Is it good? Is it, like what message is she giving? What do you take from it? Like when you hear Lizzo and body positivity, let's start with that first.
Okay.
Like,
well, let's go back even one.
Okay, come on.
One more step. How would you define self-love and how would you define body positivity?
So for me, I feel like self-love is being proud of yourself, and there are layers to that. I feel like body positivity is a layer of self-love, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So I feel like body positivity is allowing people to be who they are, because I don't like the traditional standard of beauty and what people are supposed to look like and all that. I don't like that. So that's what body positivity is, letting people love who they are. But self-love includes that, but you still have to include loving yourself enough to make sure that it's not just looking good on the outside, but it's working well on the inside.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like body positivity is a form of self-love. I don't think that it's all encompassing.
I agree. I agree that I think body positivity is like on the surface. But self-love is like you loving yourself down to your core, down to the cellular level. But it's even loving yourself enough to make better decisions about your relationship, your career. I mean, it's just like making yourself the most important person in your life, and not in a vain way, not in a way where you're
Is there anything wrong with vanity?
There's nothing wrong with vanity and being proud of yourself, but when it negatively affects everyone around you. Because I know some people who, there is not a shiny surface that they cannot walk by without, and then it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But you need to love yourself to make the appropriate decisions to make sure you're being taken care of. I think that's where self-love is. So it's really broad, it's really all-encompassing, but body positivity is like the buzzword now, because we do have non-traditional figures and bodies that are mainstream.
Yep.
And I think it's a very gray area for a lot of people.
Yeah, okay. All right, I gotta get really into it. Okay, now what I'll do get bothered by is, because body positivity is never associated with people who are traditionally accepted as attractive.
Correct.
And beautiful. They're not, and handsome. They're not expected to walk around and be like, I love my body, because then you turn into an arrogant ass, right?
Yep.
But it's thrown into people like, she's proud of herself, even though, you know what I'm saying, which is trash. But what also throws me off when you look at those, and we got to talk about it, and we said we're going to have a real conversation, but being overweight and being obese, they're real issues.
They are.
They're real issues. Now, what we're not saying is that just because you're overweight, you're unhealthy.
Correct.
There are many healthy overweight people. Hell, I'm considered to be overweight.
So am I.
That cracks me up. I'm like, I'm overweight. Okay, great. But there are a lot of unhealthy skinny people.
Correct.
Very unhealthy skinny people. So that equation of health and size, I don't like that. But I also don't like when our body positive people who are plus size are promoting the things that got them plus size that are unhealthy behaviors.
Yes.
That's where I feel I draw the line. Like, I'm like, rock whatever you gonna wear. Like, I have Liz on one of my presentations. So I do a training, and then when I'm telling people about my coaching program, I'm telling them, like, I want you to have the confidence that Lizzo has. Like, I want that. But it's a difference between being confident with your body. And I'm not talking about Lizzo indirectly. Please don't come for me. But just in general, when you see people online who are like, yeah, because I eat this snack in the drive-thru, it's like, we can't just promote that. It has to be balanced. Hence, the wine and the water.
Yes. Balance.
Balance.
But I 100% agree, because I think social media, like, swings the pendulum, right? In both directions. And there's so much pressure to be whatever the hottest, fattest, not fat, trend is, you know?
Oh, you touching them.
And, you know, and it was just until recently you had to be a certain size, and you had to have a certain shape, and you had to have a certain hair. So I like the fact that we've opened up options to have, like you said, less traditional forms, which I think are all beautiful. But there comes a point where, as a weight loss doctor, I see your weight. You can love your curves, and if you love it, I like it, or I like it, you love it. But I see the high blood pressure. I see the diabetes. I see my knees hurt, my back hurts. I have sleep apnea. I saw a patient yesterday. I'm doing her surgery in 2 weeks. She's 21, and she's probably all of 5'2", 5'3", and she weighs 340 pounds.
That is
and it's like, you're young, but she has health issues. So you can be healthy now, but that doesn't mean that down the road in the future you will not be susceptible to these illnesses that obesity kind of feeds and triggers. And you have to be aware that once that ball starts rolling, you can't all of a sudden be like, uh-oh, let me, you know, snap my fingers and undo the damage that a lot of people will get. Some people are lucky and you can be 300, 400 pounds and not have nothing else wrong with you. However, your body on the inside is only meant to hold a certain amount of weight to perform ideally, right? So we all have like a similar size heart, similar bone frame. So the more
weight. Please say that again for those folks like, I'm big boned. Please say it again.
A similar bone frame. And yes, you can have, you know, a slightly bigger skeleton, but sis, that's not, I don't see your skeleton. I see all the fluff, which, again,
it's fact.
You like it, I love it.
They need to hear it.
But your bones can only take so much wear and tear. You know, it's like a car with shocks. You know, it's like there's only so much that your joints can do. You know, you walk in, how much can an extra 200, 150, 100 pounds every day you're moving, how much toll do you think it can do? How long do you think your heart can work extra hard to pump more blood through more body before you're cutting down the amount of time that your heart will even be ticking? So it's like we're all working on a time clock, and we need to strive to extend our time clock as long as possible. So once you start getting the illnesses, even before then, at least be aware that they could happen, because I'm not going to tell you how to look or how to be, but be aware it could happen. But once you start having the high blood pressure and diabetes, I don't care how cute you think you are.
Facts.
What is more important?
Facts.
Your positive feelings about your body, or the fact that you're 30 and you're on 2 blood pressure medications, you're pre-diabetic, you have sleep apnea? Because all of those will shave 7, 10, however many years off your life. And that's what love is. Do you love yourself enough to live as long as possible, or is it really just about how good I feel or look in these jeans or what have you? And that's the difference. You know, body positivity doesn't necessarily make a huge difference in life expectancy, but self-love can, because how you love yourself determines what choices you make in your everyday life. What you eat, what you do for activity, what beverages you do. Those are the things that, to me, say, how do you really love yourself? Do you think you're worth doing these things for yourself? Are you masking behind, well, I'm like this, so if I convince myself that I love all of this, it'll help me cope better with the fact that I don't want to put in the work, or I don't know how to put in the work to be better or healthier. Yeah. So I just really feel that, a lot of people are torn because social media, society says do all this, and on the inside, you may feel that way, but you may be hurting, you know, or you may see everyone else in your family who has similar body structures, they're sick. So where you think you heading? More than likely, if you keep up with the same behaviors.
So can we talk about that? Because then that's when they say, oh, it just runs in my family. No. You may have a genetic marker for it, but it's the bad habits that run in the family. So I was glad that I was listening to you, and I'm glad you listed all of the different things, because I think that a lot of times when people hear the conversation about body, right? Of course, people automatically like, oh, I need to lose weight. And they start thinking about the number, weight. And it's really not about the weight. It's about the habits. Because when you live a healthier lifestyle with certain habits, then your body's just naturally going to redistribute itself. And whether you lose weight or not, your body's going to change, your numbers are going to change. And that's why I tell people, I don't give a damn about the scale. I couldn't care. To this day, my clients know, I don't care if you weigh yourself. Don't. Because just weighing yourself actually adds stress, which is going to raise your cortisol levels, which is going to add the weight, fat around your belly. So let's stay away from the scale, and let's talk about the things you need to do. Let's talk about drinking your water. Let's talk about being consistent, not being perfect, but being consistent. And so when you talk about the self-love, I'm like, just loving yourself enough to say, these are things I should do anyway. I should drink water. I should move my body. I should be cognizant of what I eat, not eat clean, because there's no such thing as clean eating. Unless you grow your own food, ain't nothing clean.
Even when you do, that's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole other conversation.
Doesn't have all the nutrients in it anymore.
So it's just the whole conversation about the self-love is loving yourself enough to make a decision. To make a decision. That will affect the rest of your life. Exactly. And not just that, but your future generation. So I always tell people, like, my personal mission is to help at least 1 million Black families change the trajectory of their medical histories. Like, because we're not predisposed to these preventable diseases. Like, we have the markers, but that does not mean you have to lay down and just take it. Hey, I am Krystal Taylor, the owner of Fitness is Not a Game. I am your health and fitness coach who specializes in helping women over 40 lose weight without dieting or exercising for more than 30 minutes at a time. It is my personal mission to help at least 1 million Black and brown families change the trajectory of their medical histories, because we are not predisposed to these preventable diseases. So if you know that you need help, you're looking for a coach, make sure that you send me a message. You can go directly to fitnessisnotagame.com, and I got you. And if you're a foodie like me, because when you work with me, you are still going to eat, you're going to move, you're going to love yourself. Make sure that you go to my Amazon page, look for In the Kitchen with Krystal, where I make meal prep easy yet delicious. You are going to love the body that you get. My personal mission is to help at least 1 million Black families change the trajectory of their medical histories. Like, because we're not predisposed to these preventable diseases. Like, we have the markers, but that does not mean you have to lay down and just take it. When I was probably 25, I had a doctor tell me I was going to be diabetic within 10 years because of my medical history. And I was like, lies you tell. Because if diabetes get me, you going to have to chase me. You going to have to work for it. I'm not just going to sit there and be like, oh, they say I'm going to have diabetes, so you know what? I'm just going to eat this. I'm going to drink that. I ain't going to work out. You know, like, and I think that's what a lot of people do. And it's because that's what's easy. It's real easy, as opposed to just saying, and that's what I really want to change, you know, that mindset shift of normalizing activity and water. Thinking about what you eat. Like, it's really that easy. It's not that hard.
Well, it's simple. It's not easy.
Okay.
That's the way I like to see it, because, like you said, the easy way out is just to do with whatever is closest to you, convenient for you. But it's simple to say, drink more water, eat out less, but it's hard to get people to be consistent with it. You know, like it doesn't happen by accident. I think people think that like, oh, I'm gonna fall into a healthy lifestyle. There's nobody, I won't say nobody, I've not met everybody in the universe.
Yes, you did.
But I have yet to meet someone who is showing healthy lifestyle, their weight is healthy, their numbers are good, who is not deliberate and intentional with everything they do in their life.
True.
It doesn't like, oh, well, you know, whatever somebody brings me to eat, I'm gonna eat. No, it's, I'm not gonna eat that. I'm gonna decide to spend more time meal prepping or reading my labels or, you know, leaving the house 10 minutes early to get this because I don't wanna resort to eating that. So it doesn't happen by accident, you know? Like there's nothing easy about doing what's good for yourself if you want it to be true gains and true benefits, because the consistency that it takes is challenging. Once you do it, it's rewarding and it gets easier, and that I think sometimes is a self-motivation. Be like, oh shit, I'm doing better, I'm feeling better, I'm gonna keep it up. Yeah. But it's so easy just to lay in the bed and be like, I don't feel like exercising today.
That's very true.
You know, I don't feel like it.
But the thing is that it's so hard to be overweight and unhealthy too. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's actually difficult. It's way more difficult than it is to be healthier. Like, it cracks me up when people like, because I can eat. I love food. I love food. And when people around me like, I can't believe you can eat like that, and you so little, you make me sick. I'm like, don't be mad because you don't get up 5 to 6 days a week like I do. Like, yeah, I eat, but I only eat like this when I feel like it, every once in a while. This is not a daily thing. This is like, if this is my restaurant, then I'm gonna go for it. If I haven't seen my girl in a while, then I'm gonna go for it. You know what I'm saying? But this is not what I do on a day-to-day. Every day, I am cognizant about what I'm eating, how it's going to make me feel, not what it's going to make me look like, how it's going to make me feel.
Exactly.
I know that when I exercise, I'm happier because it reduces stress. Exercise is the most overlooked stress reliever, and food is the most overused, and I know that, you know, so I love how it feels when I get done. And so when people are like, oh, you get on my nerves, no, then get up with me. At 6 a day, Monday through Saturday, and then you'll see why we're able to do that. But that is my form of self-love. Would I prefer to just lay around and just eat? Sure, but I know that in the long run, I wouldn't be happy with it, and I won't be able to do that. I'll be here on this earth for 45 years doing it. I want to be able to do what I want to do to 90, 95, you know? So that's my form of self-love, is just accepting and understanding that it doesn't take a lot. It's really just a lifestyle choice. It's
not little steps.
Little things.
You know, but it can seem overwhelming. But if that's all you know, it can seem so unobtainable, especially if you don't have like a point of reference to know where to start. Here. Well, exactly.
That is why we're doing this.
That is why we be talking to the people. But
they need to hear it.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I think, like you said, this is like such an important thing for people just to acknowledge, you know, because sometimes we get on autopilot. Yeah. But to say, hey, stop, sis. Yeah. Bro, you know, stop for 1 second and think about yourself in its entirety. Yes. You love the way you look, but do you love the way you feel?
Exactly.
And what are you going to do about that if one or both of those is no? Because you can't change what you don't know to fix. And sometimes it takes sitting down with yourself and being honest with yourself. Hey guys, I'm Dr. K. I'm a bariatric surgeon and co-founder of Pro Black Health. I've been a doctor for 13 years practicing, so I know that you should not wait until you're sick to be concerned about your health. Did you know that 92% of Black people are vitamin deficient? And that's why we created Pro Black Health Vitamins, to help fill in those nutritional gaps that are often made by our diets. So not only we are a vitamin company, but we are a movement where up to 50% of our profits go towards nonprofit initiatives that focus on eradicating healthcare disparities in the Black community. So I welcome you to try us at Pro Black Health, PROBLKHealth.com, where an investment in yourself is an investment in the community. So in terms of, I don't even know if there's even a strategy behind that. This is about, just awareness that, I'm glad that more shapes and sizes and forms are acceptable, but, everything has a limit before it can start to have detrimental effects.
Yeah.
And you have to decide where you're going to draw the line on, I love all of this, but I don't love that my blood pressure high. I don't love that I'm a pre-diabetic, which is a warning for diabetes. I don't love that my back hurts. Like, you should want to feel good and look good. If you just look good, there's a lot of cute people in caskets. A whole bunch of them.
All show, no go.
So we want people to just say, just spend a moment and think about, where are you in your health journey? Yeah. And are you doing enough to take care of the outside and the inside? Because the inside will take you much further than outside ever will.
That part. And that is all facts. But so many people, and I actually just posted about that, how many people would do all the drastic things to look good on the outside and pay a lot of money. We keep talking about the money. When it's really just little tweaks.
Let me go in somebody's basement and get some fix-a-flat shoved in here. I'm like, what is happening? How does that seem like a good idea? But it's pressure,
Yeah,
so
it really
we
is.
just want everybody to think about their health and what's going on with them because we want you to live your best self.
Yeah.
And you are precious enough and valuable enough to do what's best for your health, because too fine to die is more than just a title. Yeah. You are too amazing, too gorgeous, too smart to rob this world of any less time than we are destined to have with you.
Yeah, indeed.
So till next time.
Till next time.
Till next time.